There were around a lot of bad people who attempt you to cut, do a lot of drugs, get involved in crime. I didn't want that for myself. I wanted to be something alike. That's why I chose a Catholic school.
Catholic education, a tradition in America, parallels the history of the Catholic Church. It is a story of change and challenge. The first attempts to establish Catholic schools were made in Maryland in the 1600s by the Jesuit fathers. But legislation and the anti-Catholic atmosphere that permeated much of our early history ground to a halt most Catholic instruction. Since the 1940s, however, Catholic schools have grown at 3 times the rate of public schools, and today, American Catholics maintain an educational system second only to public schools in size and scope. Catholics, it seems, extol the virtues of an academic climate combined with religious teaching.
Number one was unique. Okay? Everyone is unique. We are incomplete, all the other words that were there. But that uniqueness and mysterious, I believe.
But maintaining this tradition has not been without its problems. Economics have forced many schools to close. Squeezed between increasing cost and declining enrollment, 40% of the country's Catholic high schools have had to shut their doors in the last 2 decades. This is one school's story.
There is no other school like it. It's so warm. The teachers care, the brothers care so much. The boys walk in the door, and they are happy for 4 years. And I know it because 2 boys graduated from there.
Hi, Ma. Hi. All of us. How was work?
Mary Ann Edmonds is mother of 5. Her 4 boys have all attended the same Catholic high school. Eddie, the oldest, graduated last year. The school she speaks so reverently about is Power Memorial Academy on Manhattan's West Side. For Mary Ann and her boys, reverence has turned to bitterness, however, when they were informed in November that Power would close its doors after serving the Catholic community for more than 50 years.
How could they make the decision just like that and just tell us they're closing? They never even came and told us they had problems.
It was like somebody was taking something, a part of me away. It was like losing your left arm. You know, Power prepared me for life and made me into the person that I am, and I wanted that for my brothers.
Step to it! Step to it!
Power Memorial, long one of New York's richest traditions in high school basketball, is now a school beset with problems. The Congregation of Christian Brothers, which owns and operates the 52-year-old school, say it's in desperate need of repairs, which could total $3 million. They also cite 15% declining enrollment as the main reasons for closing. Parents, faculty, and even the city have offered the congregation alternative plans to keep Power open. But in New Rochelle, Brother Harold Delaney, provincial of the Eastern Province of Christian Brothers, has refused to change his decision.
Brother Delaney says, I'm closing the school. There's no need for a Power anymore. It's too expensive. Then he said, when we asked him if we could find a way to stay open and raise the money to repair the school, he said that he had the problem of not having a place to house the boys while this work was being done. Then we had John Jay College and some other offices around the city from people saying they would house our boys while they worked on the building or while they rebuilt Power. He still said no.
I would not have sent him here had I known it was going to close in 2 years, his first 2 years. I would have considered another school.
Mrs. Evelyn Brown is another angry parent. After sending her late son Robert to Power and witnessing the results, she decided to continue the tradition and send her youngest son Derek. Now she's sorry she did.
When Derek, my son, was considering Power Memorial, it was not the money that we were sending him for. It was the education.
It's heartbreaking. It's just bad to hear things like this happening. Because when I thought about coming to Power, I thought I'd be able to finish my education and play ball later maybe. But now that my chances of going to another school and playing ball will be harder because of my junior year.
Every game from here on in might be the last time a Power JV wears that uniform.
For years, students at Power have gone to the courts with top-ranked basketball teams.
When I was there, it was very special. Talking about a long time and a very crucial time in my life.
In the 60s, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then Lou Alcindor, put Power on the map as a sports dynasty.
They really had a commitment to get the best out of everybody. And, you know, they didn't offer anything but academic diplomas, which meant you had to be a student. And I think that was really a good place to go through that.
They make sure that if you're playing a sport,
that you have to be passing or else you will not play at all. They give you no lenience to that. If you're not passing, you don't play.
Not surprisingly, Power Memorial is a favorite topic for discussion at the Edmonds dinner table. Conversation that includes 15-year-old Darren, a Power sophomore, 14-year-old Donnie, a freshman at Power, Danny, a 17-year-old senior, and 12-year-old Sherry.
Power will always be a tradition in this family, but if it closes this year, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did you feel that Power Memorial Academy was actively trying to get you into this year's freshman class?
They wanted us there because they came out looking for you. It's not like you always went, looking for them.
Since he was a little one, like first grade, there were teachers who said, we're going to get you in Power Memorial.
We thank you for the richness that you have given us in our talents.
Since the Christian Brothers arrived here in New York more than 70 years ago and began their mission to educate young men, they have actively recruited and competed for the best grammar school students for their 3 New York high schools, Rice High School in Harlem, O'Howell's Institute in the South Bronx, and Power. Today, enrollment totals more than 1,500 for the 3 schools, and Power has the 3rd largest enrollment of all Catholic high schools in Manhattan.
It's not like they just come here from hearsay. They have a teacher who comes to the schools that they go to and speak to the boys and try to encourage them to come to Power Memorial.
Each brother, each lay teacher, they treat you like a person, not like a thing. They just treat you that special way.
We're going to survive. I don't know if it's going to be in the present form. We might have to undergo some transformation, but I am not going to give up my personal vocation to educate these students, these city kids.
This report will continue with a view from the faculty in just a moment.
But we're stock market coverage.
French fries?
Tony Grasso is a symbol of days gone by, of days when teachers were friends and confidants to impressionable young men, shaping and molding future lawyers, doctors, and fathers. He has 14 years invested at Power Memorial as a teacher and basketball coach. His sense of duty to his students compels him to fight the decision to close Power.
Why did it go 12 years and then nobody had a development fund, nobody tapped the alumni, nobody asked the faculty or the brothers to do something about it, nobody went to the parents? We had a gym floor in disrepair last year, $10,000. They asked the parents for $60 per student. They gave it. Why wasn't anybody contacted to say the school might close?
When I spoke to Brother McDermott, could they do anything about it? He says, well, this is the policies. I really don't think we can do anything about it.
Now, do you feel that because we took a severe stand about keeping the school open, they're reluctant to do anything of that sort for us? At this point, we attacked the problem on a different level. We put together a committee to save the institution. The committee is made mainly of faculty, alumni, parents. Right now, I'm having a lot of trouble with the exact sequence of events for the legal action.
The Save Power Memorial Committee has filed 2 lawsuits on behalf of parents and students attempting to prohibit the Christian Brothers from closing the school or selling the land, as well as alleging that the congregation has breached a contract to provide 4 years of schooling to their children.
One of the primary things that we're seeking is to at least ensure that those students have the opportunity to continue their education at Power, graduate from Power, and get a diploma from Power, which in effect means keeping the school open for at least 3 years.
On advice of attorneys, Brother Harold Delaney has declined an invitation to respond to these issues due to the ongoing litigation, prompting the Save Power Committee to seek outside help and suggestions.
What we did was come up with 2 or 3 sound building proposals from various developers.
The site could be redeveloped with a high-rise apartment building and with the school as a mixed-use building with the school in the lower half, and that the school could be rebuilt as part of this, and that they would then get enough money out of the development of the property to substantially subsidize the school.
Jerome Kretschmer is a lawyer and developer with a keen interest in the Upper West Side. As a former assemblyman for the district in the 60s, he has seen the Lincoln Center area grow and change.
History creates a great new value in the land. It's 1960, 25 years ago. And then suddenly Lincoln Center comes, and suddenly this land that was worth very little 25 years ago is worth a great deal today. So shy of just selling it, which anybody can do, how does this institution that has been in the neighborhood for all of these years suddenly take advantage of the fact that the land that it's sitting on has dramatically and magically increased in value? The developed parcel might be worth $60 million, but certainly not the raw land. I think they've decided that that's not a place where they want to have a school. And I think that the problem is that they just should have articulated that judgment earlier in the game, and so everybody's hopes would not have been gotten up.
I cannot think about picking up my life somewhere else. I can't. I devoted 25 years of my heart and soul here. I can't just pick up and walk away from it. I can't.
Jerry Grimmeyer and George Ponte are two very unhappy teachers. Jerry teaches history and George mathematics. Between them, they have over 30 years' experience at Power.
November, they tell you it's closing in June. I mean, they're all willing to admit this is their best school, and yet they were willing to do absolutely nothing to save it. My wife's pregnant. Right now, she's 7 months pregnant. I bought a house last year in New Jersey, and no consideration and nothing for anything.
It sounds to me that you had made a commitment to teach in a Christian Brothers community, and now they have broken a contract with you?
Yeah, we've made a gentleman's agreement. Monetary remuneration is no reason to stay at any of the Catholic schools. I think everybody's aware of that.
I only get paid $16,200 at Power, and that's after 6 years. And I would teach here for the rest of my life, even with a low salary, because I'll work another job to supplement it. I see myself as being absolutely betrayed, and the students as being betrayed.
Power Jr., Mike Rodriguez.
There's a prestige in graduating from Power because everybody that I know knows about Power Memorial, and if they see you with a Power Memorial jacket or sweater, they're gonna know, well, he's from a good Catholic high school. He's very well educated. He's very respectful. Without Power, it won't be the same.
No intention of reopening the school. Most of the kids were obviously crushed, and we still see students now who still talk about the day that the school closed. There were a lot of people hurt by it.
When Jesus asked God to lift the cup of his, let it pass me by, he says. How come God didn't?
Nationwide, Catholic schools, particularly inner-city Catholic schools, are facing the same problems that may face Power Memorial to close this spring: declining enrollment, increasing costs, and facilities in need of exorbitantly costly repair. But the issue is a challenge, not a crisis, that's being remedied in some areas by the interest and support of businesses, communities, and the continued dedication of the religious, whose commitment have time and again worked miracles.